Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Planning Board meeting of July 17th, 2018 here in Litchfield Town Hall. Would you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Appointment of alternates. Since I know I did not get word from Tyler Perrin, I'm not sure if he's coming or not, but if you would like, Kate, you're an alternate, so we would need a voting member. Would you be interested in taking that position tonight? Okay, so we'll have Kate as an alternate. The roll call of members: Michael Croto, chair.
Stephen Weber, selectman's rep.
Kate Stevens, alternate.
Joe Blanchett, clerk.
Dennis Page, member.
Okay. Before I begin the meeting this evening, is there any public input on non-agenda items, things that are not on the agenda for tonight, that the public would like to bring before the board? Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to close public input on non-agenda items, and we will proceed. I think we're going to start tonight a little bit backwards. I know we have two things on. Is the applicant for Mel's Funway here, Attorney Perlman, I see in the audience. I'm going to have you speak first. I know that I did receive your email today. I don't know, did everybody else have an opportunity to take a look at the email that was sent? I'm not sure. Yeah, it was sent to everybody. I didn't. Oh, okay. Well, apparently it's a request for a continuance of tonight's hearing, from what I understand, on the two pending applications. So I'm going to let Attorney Perlman speak to the request.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, good evening. My name is Andy Perlman. I'm an attorney with Perlman & Perlman in Nashua for Mel's Funway Park Limited Liability Company. With me tonight is Michael Accomando, just came in the room, a member of Mel's Funway Park LLC. Typically, when I make continuance requests, we can just submit it by email or by letter, and that suffices. I wanted to come tonight because this project has been much delayed. We've had continuance requests before. We have multiple applications before you. So I just wanted, just out of good faith and courtesy to the board, just to come to you and say, we are requesting a continuance, hopefully into the second meeting in August, if we can do that, if that's okay to the board. The reason we're doing this is because we have one more parcel to include into the mix. We have a proposed lot consolidation as part of the two applications that is before you. I didn't bring a big plan, but I can show you that what we're doing is we're proposing to consolidate the DeRocher lot, the Plex Realty Trust lot, and these two other lots operated by Mel's. That's in the application before you, and that is otherwise set to go. But what we are going to do is we're going to amend the consolidation application to include in the Whitney Realty Trust lot, which is owned by our Mel's guys. That's the haunted hayride lot, so that all of the properties are proposed to become one big lot. The reason we do that is for financing purposes. Talking to banks are much more comfortable if we have one big lot that represents their collateral, as opposed to how we have it broken up, as it is today. So the Whitney Realty Trust lot is not part of the equation, is not part of the application. We're going to amend the application, and we, if it's acceptable to the board, we'd prefer to be here for your second August meet. Well, I'm assuming you have a second August meeting. Some boards do a summer session.
We do, yes. It would be the 21st.
So, and that works great for us because it allows us to do things with the bank. And so it would time well perfectly for us. Keach Nordstrom will be amending the application. There'll be new abutters list that will have to go. And some additional signatures for Whitney Realty Trust. So there's a little bit of mechanics. Not a lot of substantive changes. We're just adding one more lot to the consolidation.
Now, are you looking, because the other application dealt specifically with the bumper boats and the bouncy house. So are you looking to do this, like get this part taken care of first and then do the other application?
Well, I would suggest that they be taken simultaneously the same night.
Okay.
But you can treat them differently, and one each requires its own vote and discussion.
Right.
The consolidation, honestly, is a relatively simple exercise. The bumper boats, the mini mills, that may take some more discussion. But ideally, we address one, then the next on the same night.
Okay. Does the board have any questions? Okay.
So I'm sorry, that was the 21st?
Well, it's, yes, if we were to meet again, it would be August 21st, which is the third Tuesday of the month.
That would be ideal for us. And that's all I had, and thank you.
Okay. Is there any members of the public who wish to comment this evening regarding the application? Okay. All right. Well, what's the, Jay, I should say, do you have anything to add to that or?
No comment and certainly no
Okay.
objection to a continuance.
Mr. Chairman, I just have a point of
Yes.
question. My name is Morgan Hollis. I'm an attorney in Nashua, and I represent two of the abutters
Okay.
to the project, Jill Charbonneau. And Mr. Charbonneau's here with me.
Mhm.
And I just had a question of a point of order. If there was a consolidation of a new lot to the plan,
Mhm.
I think you have to notice of a new public hearing notice because it's a brand new application essentially.
Right.
So there'll be a new application
Mhm.
and a new notice.
Right. And notice to abutters. So everything will be done.
I wouldn't want to trot out here again on the 20th.
No. I understand.
Have somebody say, well, you didn't give us notice.
Yeah,
There's a whole
right.
bunch of new abutters.
Yeah. Yeah, with the new lot, there are new abutters
Right.
across the street, and that project that's being built out now. So.
All right. Is there anyone else of the public who wishes to comment?
Can you say something, please?
Please do. I need you to state your name and for the record and where you live.
My name is David M. Mitchell. I live on 440 CBH.
Mhm.
And you talk about the lots on abutting properties. Are we talking on the even side of Mel's or on the opposite side where they're talking about doing the paintball range?
If I may,
Yes, please.
not the paintball side, all on the same side as Mel's, the haunted hayride lot.
Okay, so it's not coming back towards the town hall side or the golf course side?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Andy, that's the one lot being consolidated. The DeRoche lot is on the golf course side.
That's true, right? But
I
that's
think that's
a
what he-
pending application.
Right. You might want to
Oh, okay. I can show you on the plan exactly what I'm talking about. Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Mhm. Yes, go
Um,
ahead.
Here's Mel's now,
Mm-hmm.
right? What we're doing is proposing to consolidate the haunted hayride lot that's up here, all of this Mel's, the Laserplex, the Mel's properties, and then a large portion of the DeRoche lot here.
Which will come probably right behind my lot.
Are you in here?
440.
Are you in here?
Yeah, 442, 440.
Okay. Right. We're proposing to consolidate all this. No, we hope the McQuestons continue to farm it. Should be parking, Spooky World. That's all we're doing.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, we have a request for a continuance. What is the will of the board? Do you want to continue this?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to continue the meeting to August 21st, 2018.
Okay. I have a motion on the table.
I'll second.
I have a second. Do I have discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, abstained, Motion passes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 0. Okay,
Thank you very much.
we'll see you on the 21st.
We'll see you.
Okay, and thank you.
Thanks for taking us out of order.
Okay. All right, next up on the agenda this evening is I have a home occupation application by Don and Bob Grimard at 25 Chatfield Drive, tax map 21, lot 92 for Grimard Financial Office. Is the applicant present this evening?
Yes.
Would you please come to the table, announce your name and your address?
I'm Bob Grimard, 25 Chatfield in Litchfield.
And I'm Dawn Vermont.
Okay, welcome. This is a home occupation, and it does follow our site plan regulations. Essentially, it's basically the procedure is a request to present it to the board this evening and for submission. We usually, in order to do the application process, we're going to pretty much do as we do a normal site plan. We will do approval. It's not an acceptance of the completeness of the application, and then from there, if the application is complete, we'll vote on that. And once that's done, then what we'll have is have you folks give us a little bit of background on what you're doing, what's going on, and then we will move to possibly the approval process tonight. So that's basically how it goes. The public will have an opportunity to speak. We will give them an opportunity as well after you give your presentation and the board has questions. We'll open it to the public, and at that point, we can go from there. Okay, so the first item of business is the acceptance of completeness for the application. And I know Joan is not here this evening. Kim, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure. So I have to ask, we have an application before us. Have all the fees been paid? We have the notice to all the abutters to the property. And we have the appropriate paperwork. Jay, can you confirm that for us this evening?
I can.
Okay. All right. Okay. Normally, I mean, what we have for submission requirements for a home occupation application, you would need 6 copies of the occupation, sketch plan with name and address of the owner, record, name of the applicant. If not the owner, we need the tax map, lot number, total area and dimensions of the parcel, the location of the required setbacks on the plan, location and dimension of existing buildings and structures, proposed home occupation and its location within an existing structure site, location of any proposed signs, scale of the map or diagram, tax map, lot numbers, names, addresses of all of the abutters, location of all driveways and parking areas, location of existing roads and driveways within 100 feet of the parcel, the total number of employees broken down by resident and non-resident, the estimated number of vehicle trips per day generated by proposed home occupation, and a signature block. So if we have all that, I'm going to ask the board to entertain a motion to accept the application for its completeness.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the application for its completeness.
Okay, I have a motion on the table. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, do I have discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, abstained, motion passes 5-0-0. Okay, so the application for completeness has been granted, allowed. So now the next step is the approval process. So what I'm going to have you folks do is introduce, well, obviously, if you introduce yourself, give us a little background on this application and what it is that you're looking to do.
You want to talk just about where we are today or where we've been moving on to today?
Well,
because we've been, we've had a little rocky road, and if you Notice I have my folks in the back. We brought them from Tennessee. One of the reasons why we settled in Litchfield. So let's just work with what we have.
I think, yeah. Why don't we talk about
Okay.
what's being proposed?
So Dawn and I, we have started back 14 years ago in health insurance and morphed into helping folks with their financial needs. So we do health insurance, which I'm going to add is not a very good business today, but we have so many good clients. We have held on to it because we have to serve the public. That's how we feel. So we've morphed also into helping people with their financial needs, annuities, life insurance, that type of thing. So we have 0 people coming to our home for the health insurance, and maybe on an average, maybe 4 to 5, 6 per week may come to our home to visit me to discuss their retirement, basically. And that's really the crux of it. For example, there's weeks where we have 0 people. There's weeks where we have more people. Now, I know that it's been brought up that we've had some excess traffic to our neighborhood. And really, I wanted to get into that and maybe not have to get into that. But the point is Dawn's dad's wife had some back surgery, and we had visiting nurses and things. So our traffic lot coming into our drive, it will be minimal, and people will be there for perhaps 1 hour, 4 to 5 times a week. So it's not a traffic jam that we're going to cause.
Okay.
Or maybe I didn't need to get into that, but I just thought.
Well, it's all right. It's all right.
It's important. We had construction. We built a property for Frank because we moved him up. His wife has Alzheimer's. God bless her. So we've had some movement there, unfortunately, beyond our control.
So they live in the in-law of the house.
Which is approved, and you can go look at that.
Okay.
If you want.
Inspected and signed, sealed, and delivered. Yes.
So basically, this is it's basically a small business that you would be running, financial.
Correct.
Thing. Okay.
We service a lot of our health insurance clients, people we've had for years, and it's really a small business. It's not a conglomerate. We're not Merrill Lynch or Morgan Stanley. And no one's going to come buy us up, I don't think. So it's a mom and pop kind of thing.
The health insurance is done over the phone and on the internet. So.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
So does most of the business happen in one of these? It looks like you get 2 11-by-17 offices.
Yes.
Is that where the business happens? Okay.
Yeah, Dawn operates one and I'm in the other.
Okay.
And we have to speak quietly or the other one can't hear on the phone. That's okay. We've learned to coexist. And we're still married, which is it's a strong plus. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
In terms of people coming to see you, obviously there are going to be parking issues. I don't know if they're going to be able to park in your driveway. How is that going to work? Are they going to park on the street? What's going on?
I took a picture of the house. I think you have it.
I believe we do. Yes.
And the driveway really is a huge driveway. Do we have a picture of it in here, honey?
No, but they have it.
Okay. So the driveway is a huge driveway. And what we'd like to do is put just a little small sign in the front of the garage door that says that they could park here. And, we're going to have one client once a day. So, it's not like we're going to need to put lines in the driveway. But we thought about putting a small sign saying, okay, welcome Grand Financial, park here. So the driveway is over 100 feet long. And in some cases, it's 20 feet wide. So certainly parking right there and indicating a spot is what our intention was going to be. So they'll know right where to park. So there'll be nobody on the street.
But that wouldn't be out all the time. It would just be out before
a client and
before a client and then
put away afterwards. The park here kind of thing.
What was I going to ask you? So are these people going to be coming during the daytime, or is it different hours of the day?
No, it's mostly so far
that
it's and when we were in Georgia, it was always, I shouldn't say always, it was about 90% during the day. In the evening, we had installed on both sides of the garage dusk to dawn lights, and the post light is a dusk to dawn light with not a halogen bulb, but what do you call those bulbs that are not a regular bulb, but a
LED.
LED bulb. So it's, the post light is a dusk to dawn, and so are the two side lights. Now, there's also a light in the very front of the house. There's a light at the side door and a spotlight at the top. So there's 7 total lights there. And I think they're highlighted on the picture of the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm long-winded. I gave a long
No,
explanation
that's
about
okay.
everything.
Do you have any issues clearing snow? Like, do you reschedule appointments if there's like ice or things or?
Our business really slows down tremendously over the winter months.
Yeah, we normally don't see people in January and February. In fact, we're hoping to get out of the cold during that out of that period of time. As we get older, we become less tolerant.
Sure.
So we're hoping to January and February not be here and be able to communicate through email and phone calls.
Okay.
We have a contractor that does the plowing for us, like from last year, from
great.
last spring.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh,
She just sent a note.
oh, okay.
Did she put out?
I guess you did. Sorry about this.
No, it's okay.
One of our members wanted to listen in. She couldn't be here tonight, but still wants to participate.
Which I lost your number.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please consult your directory and call again, or ask your operator for assistance. This is a recording.
Here. There you go.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Does it read that? Yeah, should read that.
Yeah, there you go. Much easier.
Yes.
Hey again, sorry.
That's okay. Well, good thing that Stephen told me that you got sent a message, so that's good. Yes,
So
no.
we got the approval for the home occupation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions, Kim? Since you're on the phone, I don't know.
Regarding the home application?
Right.
No.
Okay. Does the
I mean, I'm trying to figure out the square footage. It looked like it was okay, right?
Mhm.
Like 500 square foot minimum or something. They have 2 11 by 17 rooms, right?
Yeah.
377. I
Yeah,
think.
I think it works. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, that was it. That
274.
looks good.
does any of the other members of the board have any questions?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Dennis.
in the off, I haven't seen the site plan, but proper egresses,
I got-
fire alarms, all that good stuff in case of emergencies. You have clients in the office at that time, everybody can escape.
Correct. Yeah. Right at the back of the office, there's a door that goes right out to where we put Frank's property, so they can get right out through that area.
Fire department has no problem getting to the property.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
Jay, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
No, the application does appear to meet all the requirements.
Okay. All right. Well, at this time, I will open it up to public input. So if there's any members of the public who are here this evening who wish to speak, we'd ask you to come forward and give us your name and address and your opportunity to ask questions.
Good evening. I'm Debbie Murray. This is my husband, Ben Murray. And we've been in town for about 26 years. We live next door to the Bernards, who just moved in a few months ago.
Okay.
So my husband was making an inquiry about it because we own a business also right in Hudson that we've had for like 20-something years. So that's what created our original inquiry, because we saw a lot of extra activity and the signs and a lot of people parking on the street with the business. So, but also because Ben does pay to lease space in Hudson versus working out of our home. He was just wondering about the process and, just wanting to make sure that when we're backing out and things that it's comfortable for us. We have children that come to visit. Our daughter just graduated from college. She's home for the summer, and just increased activity. And so my husband was curious and made a call.
Okay.
And I do light duty printing, like kind of the Xerox machines and, very small print shop. And I was told years ago through the board that I couldn't operate such a thing out of my garage. And this goes back, so maybe things have changed or whatnot, but, so, as a homeowner, resident living in town.
And paying taxes for 26 years.
Kind of
doing
forced
everything.
to go on World 2 and rent my own office space because of the concerns of customers coming, picking up product, UPS drivers, FedEx drivers. And we just have a small print shop operation. I've also printed for the town in the past as well.
Annual report.
So it was just concerning just because, it is a residential area, kind of designed for single family home residential. And, we're not on Charles Bancroft Highway, we're not in a, really busy area. And so we were just concerned, just affects everyone's home values on the street.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I understand. Well, I guess my question is, are you going to have in terms of your financial business, and I don't know, but people coming supply trucks and things of that nature?
No. I'd like to comment on what the public just stated. We have not had one client, and I'm going to repeat that. You can look in my eye to see whether I'm being honest with you. We have not one client park in the street. We have had construction, electricians, plumbers, all those people putting together Frank's place, visiting nurses, Frank's family bringing them food and helping care for Flo when she had her back surgery. But we have not had more than one client at our property at a time, and normally not more than one a day if it was stretched out that way. And so I have to say, we buy from Amazon. Okay, we buy from Amazon and we get our deliveries from Amazon. We don't sell a product. We don't make a product. If there's an annuity application or Dawn does a life application, everything is done online. We may get a dozen brochures once a month, but as far as delivery for a product, something to be made, something to be sold, it's just not there. Everything is done electronically.
And just if I could add something, my parents moved into an in-law that we built, and they moved in 2 months ago. So they're both 85. So the moving has been very tough for them, and they have required a lot of care and a lot of support from my family members, with dinners and help. So.
Okay. Is there any other members of the public who wish to comment this evening? Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to close public input on this at this time. I'm going to take the issue back to the board. What is the board's wishes? We have a home occupation application in front of us. Seems to be in order.
Mr. Chairman, I wasn't on the board back back when you guys had come forward, but I understand that this application has come requesting only 4 to 6 per week. And I know that you guys have had, I think that the traffic, I do believe that the traffic is not necessarily caused by the business.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, that's so.
It's more the family support.
Yeah. So being the estimates so low for traffic impact on the business itself, I have no problems going forward with this. It just seems that I think the reason that the interpretation has been that there's been so much more traffic is just because of the situation that they're in currently with the family. So that's my take on it. I'm not sure if anyone else on the board. Okay.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Go ahead.
With that, do you have intentions of the business growing in the future?
No, we're not interested in that.
Oh, we're we're not saying, 5 years down the road, all of a sudden now you're having 5, 6, 7 visitors a day.
No, we're not interested. Quite frankly, 5, 6 down the road, years down the road, I'd like to be retired in warmer weather full time. I just turned 60 and I have a goal of 65.
The
So
pace you're saying right now, as you have 1, maybe 2 a day. At
Correct.
Max, that's where it should stop.
max, absolutely, without
Yeah.
question.
Oh, I should have asked this at the beginning. I kicked myself for that. And I don't think there is, but usually we have to ask. There's not going to be any regional impact to this project. Is that correct?
Regional.
Well, what I mean by regional impact, I mean, having, that may affect other towns or cities or
Oh,
municipalities.
no. No. This is mom and pop, believe me.
I didn't think it would. Yeah, I understand, but
Mom
we
and
have
pop,
to-
Frank and Flo. That's what we're looking
we
at.
do have to ask, and I just wanted to make sure that I covered that.
No, that's good. No, thank you.
Another thing, you mentioned signs. We do have a sign ordinance in town under our zoning ordinance. There is, we have under 1503.03, we have something for temporary signs. Usually those are for, to be placed for 30 days in a calendar year without approval or sign permit. But they would, obviously comply with all the requirements in the section. And I noticed in your application that you said we're not going to have a,
Yeah, no.
No, we
Sign.
don't plan like a permanent sign open for business.
Yeah.
But we thought at the end of the driveway where people would, before they got there, put it out, put their name, park here,
Really,
and then
in
take
front
it.
of the front of the garage, not at the end of the driveway, but right in front of the garage.
Just as an instruction of where they should be, that's all.
and how big is it?
It's about the size of, I took a picture before I came. Do you want to see it?
Sure.
Just in case it came up.
Isn't there one hanging on your mailbox? too?
No, it says Gramad. It says Gramad.
Oh.
The Gramads. It does
And
not say
it's
Gramad
about this big.
Financial. It doesn't say Gramad Insurance. It's just the Gramads.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's okay, right? Our name on a thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't regulate that.
More people do that. When you find your house, you-
I thought that would be okay.
Okay.
So it's an in and out one for maybe an hour and then,
It's like less than temporary.
yeah.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's a piece of plastic. It's not
I'm
built
just
for
curious.
lifetime installation.
Okay.
Do we have anything like written down as far as?
What was it? 30 days temporary, right?
Well, I mean, if they're taking it out and then they're putting it away, usually, I mean,
Let me just say this.
Yeah.
Every time before the client comes, where it says welcome,
Mhm.
we put their name on it. We put a sticker that puts their name on it.
Mhm.
So we certainly wouldn't leave a sign out with someone's name all the time. So it's a like as I said, maybe an hour or while they're there.
But yeah, it's not like the only rule I guess we have would be it can be up for longer than 30 days.
Yeah.
Right?
That's, yeah.
and it doesn't sound like,
That's what I was
it
saying.
doesn't, I don't even know if that,
If we have a client for 30 days.
Yeah, we're in really trouble.
We're in trouble.
Yeah.
Jay, you see any problem with that or?
No, I was just
I
going to
didn't
ask
think-
if you could possibly email us that picture for the record.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And does it have dimensions with it?
I can measure it for you.
If you could just.
Did you see
yeah.
the picture?
No.
Do you want to see it?
Sure.
Sorry, Jay.
With a handsome, it's got a handsome man standing right next to it.
Handsome.
It's really maybe stands this tall, I guess,
Okay.
and it just folds.
And it comes in and out.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, it would not withstand otherwise. It's plastic with some kind of foam backing.
Because usually the requirements, I mean, the sign height, normally it has to be 8 feet. There can't be any reflective material to be used. This is basically part of the ordinance, and I'm just,
Yeah.
no banners, streamers will be used, no neon flashing, moving or colored lights, no lighting shall glare, obstruct, or interfere with the vision of drivers in the evening. But just so you're aware.
Good to me.
Yeah, I'll certainly send it along. Sure, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
I want to confirm you have no employees. It's just you.
No, correct.
Yeah, it's just, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just the two of you.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Does the board have any other questions? If not, you've heard from the applicant, you've heard from the public. What is the board's will this evening?
Can we do some kind of approval that says? if
We
it
can
grows-
conditionally approve it,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Traffic grows, then it has to be revisited.
We've done that before. We did that on a past application, right?
Okay. No, I mean, it's totally, I mean, if you feel that that's a concern, you can certainly, make that part of the motion.
It sounds like it's a concern of.
Yeah, the public.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, if someone,
How do I say that?
usually, I would like to make Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to
Motion to
conditionally approve.
conditionally approve the application.
And I would use, so for the applicant, their name, Don and Bob Grimard,
The application of John and Bob Grimard.
at their address. Sorry.
25 Sheffield Drive.
Okay.
To conditionally approve their application for a home occupation permit on the condition of that traffic does not increase past their expected 4 to 6 trips per week.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? How would anybody know whether these people are there to see us personally, see Frank, a visiting nurse, bring food? How would that be tallied?
Probably when your sign goes out, might be in
Yeah,
addition with the
that would
welcome.
probably be the,
Because
So-
depending on their health is going
Right.
to depend on
Okay,
a
that's
lot of
not, that's
traffic.
okay,
That's
that's okay.
separate.
So it's depend, okay, so how about if we
Yeah.
don't put the sign out? And can we, I mean, it just doesn't, I don't get it.
well, that's up to you. I'm just saying that we do have an ordinance, we have a sign ordinance in
Yeah,
town,
yeah.
and we have to, we comply with it. We are, we have to regulate that. But if you feel that you don't want to sign, that's up to you.
Well, quite honestly, as a family, we've been through a lot the last couple of years, as a family. And being here tonight has brought up a lot of emotions that we've gone through as a family. And so, quite honestly, I'd like to move on and know that we're okay to be able to run our business from a house that we overpaid for and spent $140,000 into a garage to build a house, and to know that we're going to be able to be okay to run our business out of this property. I'm quite honestly, it just scares the bejeebus out of me to say that, yes, you could do this. Yes, you're within your rights. Yes, you're doing okay. But, and no matter what the but is, it just makes my heart race. So if that's if we get a permit, we say we don't put a sign, then we won't put a sign. I would just like to have it over and done with, quite honestly.
Or I think your concern was about the
Increase
increase.
in-
Well, because, honestly, there'd be no finality to this. The fact that it was reported that was a lot of cars in the driveway, rather than someone coming to knocking on the door and say, geez, Bob, seems like you've got a lot of traffic here. What's going on? And maybe given an explanation about construction, given an explanation about Flo having back surgery, given an explanation that Flo has Alzheimer's and most of the time is not sure where she is. And that didn't happen. So I can only say I have to count on what someone else might say about my business later on down the road. And quite honestly, I have lost faith in a lot of humanity, and it scares the heck out of me.
And that's where this, at least the idea of the application being conditionally approved is that it wouldn't affect it if it was family issues. Wouldn't affect it.
But how would anybody know? If no one stopped to ask, Bob, why is there so many cars in the driveway now? how do we know that that won't turn into, geez, there's so many cars and not really know why? And now we're back here to answer these same questions.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand the concern.
I think the concern is obviously it's a residential neighborhood.
I got it.
People,
I get it.
you know, and I get that. You know, I get it. You know, people there to live. Obviously, you have a right to earn a living. that's guaranteed. So, you know, certainly, I mean, I certainly don't see an issue with, you know, millions of cars driving up to your place every day. And that's not the type of business that you have. It seems to be very, very small, very, you know, people coming and going. I get that. So, I mean, but I think there was just a concern because of the, you know, I think someone raised a concern about traffic, and I guess that's just, you know, the number of cars. That's, you know, which is a legitimate concern. We understand that, and that's, you know, something that, you know, we have to take into consideration.
Yeah, and what you're saying is that what we rely on in the past about these applications is, you know, if it causes an issue. But so far, any issues that maybe have been caused, maybe, the best channels haven't been taken.
Say that again. I didn't hear you. Could you speak up? I'm sorry.
Sure. So how we usually, you know, how we approve these applications to have the conditional approval for excess traffic and everything. Yeah, it would be something that is normally rely on, you know, anyone that's causing an issue with to bring it up. And it sounds like anyone who has had an issue with the traffic at your property.
Well, there's been no traffic on, there's nobody parked on the street at all, ever. The driveway's huge.
Hi again.
Hello.
I'm sorry, I don't know why it keeps dropping out.
That's okay. All right. Okay.
I apologize, everybody.
So the conditional approval is not the sign issue. It's having a watchdog to see how many people we're going to have come in and out.
And I don't see it being an issue, quite honestly. I mean, looking at this application as it's been submitted, I mean, it doesn't sound like that's going to be an issue. We're just making sure that if we conditionally approve it, that's just basically, you know, that it's not going to, you know.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, you know.
I mean,
basically.
You know, if somebody else wants a home business, then they can come and apply for a home business.
Right.
It has nothing to do with us.
Right.
I think that we've met all the criteria.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think so too.
So I think, all right, well, we have to back up now. We have a motion made a motion. Do you want to continue with that motion? How do you want to? We didn't have a second, so I don't think.
Yeah, we don't have to, but.
I mean,
For regulating things that we don't need to.
yeah. We do have, I mean, traffic flow is a condition. It's something that we do regulate. And I feel like, I don't know.
I guess what I mean is, I don't have a problem with it conditionally approved, but that's the question, how is it, what triggers it to come back for revisiting? You have something to help us out of it?
I was just going to comment on a couple of things if I could. First, just currently in the home occupation regulations, there is a requirement that says that traffic generated by the home occupation shall not increase safety hazards or be substantially greater in volume than would normally be expected in the neighborhood. So we do have, you know, that's already embodied in the regulations. Now, granted, there's no hard and fast number of vehicles, but right. That's there. And also, home occupation should be clearly incidental to the residential use. And I think we have testimony. Maybe I'm helping you, maybe I'm not, but you know, we do have testimony this evening that, you know, where you said it's going to be about 4 to 6 customers coming per week, and I think that it's reasonable for the board to rely on those statements in making its decision to grant or not grant the home occupation. So I think that's the only effort. Granted, enforcement is always difficult. Nobody's going to be out there counting every day the number of customers that come, but I think the concept is that if what is happening at that property, exceeds in the magnitude from what was presented to the board, then that's when potentially there'd be a need to come back to the board.
But no, that's a good point, that I don't think it will exceed normal traffic to a neighborhood. So on that, I don't think it needs the conditional approval.
He's already stated he's not growing the business any more than what it is.
And there's already in the regs something in place to say it can't exceed.
If it does, get more than.
So it's already
yeah.
part of the regulation.
So how do I take that back?
You can withdraw your motion.
Yeah, you would want to withdraw the motion and then do a new motion.
Okay, so I withdraw the entire motion.
Okay.
And then now I can
make another motion. Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry, it's a little bit of a learning curve.
If it had been seconded, it would be different, but because we didn't have a second, so
Verbiage.
you're fine.
All the legal verbiage that I was struggling with. Okay, so Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the home occupation permit application of John and Bob Grimard at 25 Chatfield Drive as written.
Okay. I have a motion on the table. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Hey, we got a sixth.
We got a six. But I don't think, because you're on speakerphone, Kim, your vote wouldn't count. I'm sorry. but thank you.
Force a habit there, Kim.
Sorry.
It's okay. So motion passes 5-0-0. So if there's anything else, I think you're all set.
I'm sorry.
No, thank you. I think it's important to speak about it and get it out, right?
Yep.
Well,
have you ever driven by a Dunkin' Donuts at 7:00 in the morning?
Yeah, exactly.
Looking to avoid that.
Yeah. No, I get it. Although it wouldn't be bad if I had that many clients around. I wouldn't be there, right? I wouldn't be there. Correct. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in, and
thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
And no picture of the sign, then, right?
Submit it anyway.
Well,
We won't put it out. I don't want that to.
Okay.
I know she's.
That should be fine.
It's all right for
Yeah. It was just a
okay. All right, I will send it.
Yeah. Well, actually, with temporary signs, you don't really need to have anything.
All right.
But I just wanted to make you aware that there is an ordinance.
I got it, but I just wanted to be 100% sure. The last thing I want to do is be sitting over here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Good luck.
Have a good night. Thank you. Okay. That's done. No.
I think Jay said exactly what you were trying to say.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think because it is in the ordinance specifically, so I think that's a good point. I don't have anything else on the agenda. There's nothing else here listed, but I will ask committee reports. Are there any committees this evening who would like to speak? Or okay, I know that I think conservation is meeting on the 22nd of August. I'm sorry, no. Is it the 22nd? It's always I always confuse it. 1, 2.
This is Kim.
Yes.
I did go to the Board of Selectmen, and they did approve that I could get on the Heritage Commission.
Oh, good. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. They're looking up whether a planning board member, they know a planning board member can be on it. They were trying to check legally if the planning board had to make a decision to allow it to happen, or I could just go as a citizen. But either way, they're researching that. Okay.
Okay.
They said 2 people from the planning board could be on it if they wanted. So
right.
Troy Brown is just researching that. So it's not a problem either way. They just want to know if you have to bless it or not. So he'll track that down.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
The other one was the commissioner quarterly meeting
Oh, yeah.
at NRPC.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the going over the budget, transportation projects, how they order them with the state. And Jay did a great job with the transportation survey that everybody had supplied information for. And that's it.
Okay, great. And I have to apologize. I meant July 25th, Wednesday, July 25th. That's the next, that's the Conservation Commission meeting. We'll meet on the 25th of July. Okay. Is there anything else that would come before the board this evening? Jay, do you have anything?
I do not.
Okay. Anybody have anything? Okay. If not, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are we supposed to look at the meeting or the meeting minutes from?
I don't think that is.
They weren't on the agenda.
No, she probably didn't prepare them tonight.
They were,
Oh,
they were
okay.
ready.
Oh, they were ready?
I read them.
All right. Well, do we want to review those?
Sure.
Sorry.
Thank
you for telling me that. I didn't realize that.
Oh, but I already made my motion. Can I withdraw it? Did somebody second it? Steve seconded it.
Yeah. So you would have to. Now you got to go backwards.
Oh, man.
So there's a motion on the table. There's a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. We're gonna vote. We have to go in order. So we're gonna vote on the motion as because it was seconded.
We're gonna let it die.
But yeah, we'll let it die, and then we can go back. So don't say anything. Do I hear a motion?
Okay.
I don't hear a motion. Okay.
We have to say nay.
Oh,
Right.
I'm sorry. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed? Aye. Abstained? Motion fails 5-0-0. Now we can go to the minutes. Okay.
Approved minutes.
05.
Is there June 5th minutes?
It's June 19th.
June 19th.
June 19th, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have the July 5th meeting.
No. Approve June 5th, 2018 minutes. Was it the right thing? Am I the right thing? Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's. I don't know. Is that on the agenda?
That's the one that's on the agenda, yeah.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Oh, okay. You know what? I didn't go
the
to
agenda
the
could be a
second
typo
page.
all
I
at once.
apologize.
It's fine. It's not publicly.
Okay.
These are the minutes for the 19th?
Yes.
I have the minutes for the 19th.
Yes. That's because that was our last meeting.
Just make sure. Yeah, June 19th.
Yep.
So that's a misprint on
Yeah,
the agenda.
okay. So it's just a typo. All right.
Where's my? There we go. Here's my amendment. All right. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the minutes of June 19th, 2018.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, abstained, motion passes 5-0-0.
We need to adjourn again.
This time with feeling. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to adjourn.
Looks like we are there. Okay, yes, I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, abstained, motion passes 500. Thank you for joining us this evening. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you in August. Good night.